Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're taking the absolute headache out of decluttering by mastering Pittsburgh's bulk trash system. Listen, did you know that properly scheduling a bulk trash pickup in Pittsburgh could save you serious time, money, and frankly, a whole lot of hassle? It's an absolutely crucial service for keeping our homes completely clutter-free and our neighborhoods looking great. But let's be honest, the rules can sometimes feel a little bit like a maze. Well, today, we're going to navigate that maze together. Let's dive right into how you can easily arrange bulk waste disposal with just a few incredibly simple steps. Because seriously, did you know getting rid of that old beat-up couch could actually be totally free and totally hassle-free? It's true. A lot of us just assume we have to go out and rent a truck or pay these exorbitant fees to get rid of a single large piece of furniture. But if you actually understand the city's civic waste disposal system, you can handle these cleanouts effortlessly. We're going to give you the exact blueprint to do just that. Okay, here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll look at defining bulk trash and eligibility, talk about the famous two-item rule, walk through the scheduling process, cover prep and restrictions, and then round it all out with some helpful resources and tips. Section 1, defining bulk trash and eligibility. So what exactly kind of waste are we talking about here? Well, bulk trash includes those massive household items that literally just won't fit into your standard 35-gallon curbside bin. We're talking about large furniture, your couches, dressers, dining tables. It also includes mattresses, box springs, and even bundled materials like old carpet, scrap wood, or fencing. Now, real quick, I do want to point out that while things like an old TV or some spare tires might seem like regular bulk items, those are actually strictly restricted. But don't worry, we'll cover exactly how to handle those edge cases in just a few minutes. So who gets to use this awesome city service? Eligibility is strictly defined by your property type. Basically, if you live in a single-family home or a small multi-family building with 5 units or fewer, you are good to go. Your routine collections are funded right through your municipal taxes. But, and this is a crucial point, there are exclusions. If you live in a larger apartment complex with 6 or more units, or if you run a commercial business, you're actually legally excluded from this city-provided collection. Those larger properties have to go out and hire independent, private waste haulers on their own. Section 2, the two-item rule. Okay, this is probably the biggest myth we're going to bust today. People think you always have to call ahead to throw away a large item in Pittsburgh. Absolutely not true. For standard bulk disposal, which means you have 2 items or fewer, it is entirely free. You don't need any appointment, and they grab it right on your regular weekly trash day. You just put up to 2 bulk items at the curb next to your regular trash. Easy, right? But if you have a special collection, meaning more than 2 bulky items, that is a whole different ballgame. You can't just throw 3 couches on the curb. That violates municipal code. For that, you absolutely have to schedule in advance, and it's going to incur a fee starting at a minimum of $100 per half hour to get a dedicated truck out to your place. Section 3, the scheduling process. So you did the math, and you definitely have more than 2 items. What now? Well, the scheduling process is actually super straightforward. Step 1, obviously, is take inventory. Make absolutely sure you exceed that free 2-item limit before you start making any phone calls. Step 2, grab your phone. You need to authorize a special collection by either calling the 311 Response Center, or if you prefer, you can call the Bureau of Environmental Services directly at 412-255-2773. Step 3, once the city evaluates exactly how much waste you have, you'll pay that required volume and labor fee, and they will literally dispatch a dedicated truck just for your property. Oh, and real quick, I highly recommend using the phg.st web app. It's an absolute game changer. The city is carved up into different collection zones, right? Northern, southern, central, eastern. By dropping your address into this web app, you instantly find your specific schedule, any weird holiday alternate pickup days, and you can even sign up for free text or email reminders the night before. Honestly, it's just a fantastic digital tool so you never miss a pickup again. Section 4, prep, restrictions, and proper placement. All right, timing is everything here, and this timeline is rigidly enforced by the city. You really cannot just drag a mattress to the curb on a Tuesday and leave it there all week. The absolute earliest you are allowed to set your items out is 6 p.m. the night before your collection day. Then, the deadline for those items to actually be on the curb is 6 a.m. the morning of the collection. Finally, by 10 p.m. that same day, you are legally required to remove any empty bins or uncollected items from the curb and pack them away. Sticking to this schedule is what keeps our sidewalks clear and hazard-free.
Besides timing, how you prep your stuff is absolutely crucial. If you're tossing out wood, carpet, or fencing, you can't just make a giant loose pile. It has to be bundled up and neatly tied. And those bundles, they have to be under 5 feet long and weigh under 35 pounds. Think of it like a medium-sized bag of dog food. If it's heavier than that, it's too heavy. Now, here is a massive sanitation rule. If you are getting rid of a mattress or some upholstered furniture that unfortunately has bed bugs or roaches, it must be fully wrapped and securely sealed in plastic. No exceptions. If it's not wrapped, they will refuse to collect it to protect the city workers. Also, pro tip for general safety. If you're throwing out a permitted appliance, always pop the doors off first so nothing can get trapped inside.
And speaking of rules, you really have to keep the city's plastic bag ban in mind. Whether we're talking about your regular blue bin recycling, which should always be loose, never ever in a plastic bag, or your bulk trash, improper packaging simply means uncollected waste. If you ignore the size, weight, and wrapping rules we just talked about, you're going to walk out to the curb the next morning, and your stuff will still be sitting right there, probably sporting a bright warning sticker. So what about those restricted items we mentioned earlier, like TVs and tires? Let's clarify exactly where those belong. Electronic waste, like your old flat screens or computers, has to go through the Noble Enviro program, and you do need to pre-register for that. Appliances with Freon, think refrigerators or AC units, they don't go to the curb either. You have to route those through programs by Duquesne Light or the Appliance Warehouse. Doing a heavy remodel, construction debris like drywall and bricks has to go to a private transfer station. And finally, for tires and scrap metal, you can haul those directly to one of the city's designated drop-off locations. Section 5. Resources and tips. Let's talk about alternatives, because sometimes you just can't wait for trash day. The city of Pittsburgh actually runs 5 year-round drop-off locations, including spots in the East End, Hazelwood, and the Strip District. You can take recyclables, yard waste, and tires there directly. I actually heard this great story about a resident who was desperately trying to downsize her whole house over a single weekend. Instead of dealing with scheduling a massive city pickup and pacing it out over a month, she just hired a private hauler, 2 men in a junk truck, and got same-day service. Companies like Load Up are awesome too. They started around $79 an item. Or hey, if you've got a truck and you just did a massive kitchen demo, you can self-haul that construction debris to a regional transfer station like Seneca Landfill and literally just pay by the ton. It's all about picking the right tool for your specific job. One quick heads up before we wrap things up. City regulations and services do change. Always verify current details by checking pittsburghpa.gov or just dialing 311 before you schedule anything. Holiday schedules bounce around, drop-off hours shift, and municipal codes get tweaked. It is absolutely best practice to just double-check the city's official resources before you go hauling a massive couch out to the sidewalk. And there you have it. You now possess the complete blueprint for a totally clutter-free home, and you know exactly how to leverage Pittsburgh's bulk trash system like an absolute pro. But this whole thing really makes me wonder, what other amazing, free, or heavily subsidized city services are you completely missing out on right now? I would love to hear your own cleanup hacks or any hyper-local resources that you swear by, so definitely drop those in the comments below. Keep exploring what your city has to offer, and until next time, happy decluttering.